There's soon to be a new retro gaming console on the market, and that's the Evercade VS. This is a follow-up product from the Evercade handheld, which I've covered on my channel, as well as the many multi-carts that go along with the handheld and the VS. It's a really cool lineup in which this company is taking and licensing classic video games across many different handhelds and consoles and putting them in multi-carts and offering them in $20 packages, physical releases where you can play at home, and now with the VS you can now play with a friend. I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review, as well as covering several of the new cartridges that are compatible both with the VS and the Evercade handheld. And so I've really enjoyed covering these multi-carts and what they offer. So sit back, relax, you may want to grab some popcorn. Here we go. Here is the Retro Game Console Premium Pack. Comes with 2 arcade multi-carts, and some great games are included. It almost includes everything that you need, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I really like the packaging, and it shows everything that's included. And one thing that you should know is it doesn't include a power brick or an HDMI cable, and so you will need to include those. It's important to know that if you are gifting this to somebody for the holidays. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and unbox this. And so I was really excited about getting this and checking it out. I think it's got a really cool classic look. It looks kind of like if a Nintendo Entertainment System original console was made in 2021. Cool feature is the ability to hot swap cartridges and insert 2 at a time. Love that. On the back there's a reset button, HDMI cable insert, as well as where the power cable goes. So here we go. Size wise, it's about as wide as a Evercade handheld, and here's it compared to a Switch. And so nice, really compact size. It does have 4 rubber feet, and here are the 2 games that are included. Each game comes with its own clamshell and full color manual, talking about the company, talking about the games. They really go the extra mile, especially for around 20 bucks to get these carts. So I think that's an awesome value product, and it's going to appeal to a budget gamer and collector. So Data East, there's some several classics included on this. I'm going to show a few later on in this video. So it's really nice. The premium bundle does come with a nice little assortment of games. It comes with 2 controllers. The cable's super long, so I really like that, and the controllers are really nice. The manual, black and white, just standard. It comes in multiple languages, and the controller itself, the best way to describe it is combining kind of the directional pad of like maybe a Sega Genesis 6-button controller. It definitely has kind of a loose feel to it, but it has the look of an original Nintendo Entertainment System controller with some additional buttons. It does have some additional shoulder buttons from the Evercade handheld. They feel pretty nice. And here is the USB cable. Again, it doesn't come with a brick, power brick, or a HDMI cable. So you're able to hook up multiple different third-party controllers, including a wired Xbox 360 controller. Now, the Evercade VS is compatible with all but 2 of the multi-carts released, and that's the Namco Museum 1 and 2, and that is unfortunate. There are some good games on those, but it's due to a licensing issue, and that's all that I know. Okay, once you set up your Wi-Fi, and here is when you boot up the console with a cartridge in it, and this is the Data East arcade, and you got lots of display and theme options, pixel perfect full screen aspect ratio. You can have scan lines, subtle scan lines, or strong scan lines. I like that. And there's different bezel options. I kind of like the grid option, really like that, or the wireframe as they call it. So really neat that they give you several different options for the bezel around the game, what you're playing. And so very sweet. I also like the soothing background music and different settings here. Just want to show you some basic options you can have in here, different languages you can set up, and really neat that they offer these settings. Gives you some additional things. Now this is kind of interesting. This is a secret code option. They haven't talked a lot about that yet, but they're gonna discuss that more later on. And so when you insert a different cartridge, it will show it. You can organize it different ways. I really like that. And so it's hot swappable, and so you don't have to turn off your console to take out a cart. Evercade is offering a new arcade series, the arcade versions of games in these kind of purple carts, and you're really going to love this. Several classics on here. This is Double Dragon 2. Each game has a menu where it shows how to play it. I'm a little rusty playing this with my son. It was the first time he was playing this, and so it was really nice to go back and play this arcade classic, the arcade version of it. And so it's really nice that they know that there's a lot of people that want to play the arcade versions. And so this is a nice little collection of arcade games from Technos. This is another one, and you're going to have some favorites that are on here. And what's really cool is that they're all two-player on the versus. And so playing it just like the arcade, you can join in and, you know, you press select, you add some credits, and play the game. And so there's save states as well in this game, and what's cool is the save states are connected to the cartridges, so you can continue on the go with your Evercade handheld. Really like that option. A perfect marriage for this console is the Data East Arcade Collection, and it's a combination of arcade classics and some things that are a little obscure. This is Wizard Fire. Really like this. When I showed my son this, he's like, "Dad, why don't they make more games like this now?" And he's like, "You know, I didn't grow up with games like this, but this game seems like a lot of fun." Great two-player action. This is a fun one to check out with a friend. And if you're a fan of medieval or fantasy games, you know, there seemed to be a ton of these back in the day, and it really just takes me back to a time of yesteryear. And so really like that this is included on this package. But maybe you're looking for something more mainstream. They have Burger Time, Lock and Chase, Breakthrough, and Bad Dudes. Oh yes. And so this definitely took me back to some arcade fun, and the arcade version is so much better than the Nintendo one. Glad it's included. Next up, and offered separately, is a Spanish company, and this is an arcade compilation. I'm not too familiar with any of these games, so I was kind of excited to check out all of them because I've never played any of them before. Did you grow up with this one? This one's new to me, but it seemed pretty fun to play and definitely would be enjoyed with a second player. This is Alligator Hunt. Another game I've never played is Thunder Hoop, so I thought I'd check it out. And so games load pretty fast on the Evercade Versus, and wanted to show you that. So it's got the nice arcade setup intro, and you can jump right into a game. This is pretty interesting kind of platform. It's always neat to play a game I've never checked out before. I'm always curious too on if someone grew up with an obscure arcade game and their experiences with it. Have you played this one? Comment below, as I would love to hear your stories. Now this one's going to be a huge hit with classic arcade fans, and this is Atari Arcade 1, and it has many hits that you are going to love to play, including Centipede, Millipede, Cannon Bomber, Asteroids Deluxe, Crystal Castles. You are going to love this collection of Atari Arcade, especially if you grew up like I did on the Atari classics in the arcade. It's really nice to see Crystal Castles here, and so it's a nice little compilation, and it looks and plays great. I think they really nailed this one, and it's nice to see Atari support this, as there's many game companies that are offered on these Evercade products. And so I think that's the strength of the Evercade lineup, as it's able to get many game companies to do compilations. Millipede, one of my favorite Atari arcade games. I liked it a lot more in Centipede, and I really enjoy playing the arcade version. And you know, I just had to test it. I took this cartridge out, I played it in my Evercade handheld, worked great. What's your favorite Atari arcade game? Well, maybe you weren't an Atari guy or person, you may be more into Intellivision. Well, look no further than the Intellivision Collection 1, and this has many classics that made the console popular: Astro Smash, Buzz Bombers, Frog Bog, Night Stalker, Pinball even has Princess Quest, which is a great homebrew. I'm going to show you that. You are going to find a game that you like on this and enjoy it. It's been forever since I checked out Night Stalker. What a great game and classic to include on this compilation. It looks like they're going to do another compilation as well, so if your game that you grew up with your Intellivision is not on this, it may be on the next one. And so really excited to see Night Stalker on here. It was one of my favorites on the console, so I'm not too good at playing it, but I definitely will get better now. And so another game that was one of my favorites was Thin Ice, and Thin Ice is another fun one. It kind of has a simple gameplay mechanic, kind of like Kicks, and I really enjoyed playing this back in the day, and I'm really glad it's included, as it is fast, arcade, fun, and I'm glad it is on this compilation. But what's really neat is a really cool homebrew, and hard to get now, is Princess Quest. And this one kind of takes me back to like a Ghost and Goblin style game. Really well done here, and I enjoyed playing this one. I didn't play the Intellivision one too much. I played more of the ColecoVision version, but this is a wonderful homebrew and included on this. Just another great game that is worth checking out, especially if you're a big fan of Intellivision. Then there is the Bitmap Brothers Collection, which is only a small group of games, but some great ones. So there's only 5 games on this compilation, but you get 3 different speedballs, including the Master System one, I do believe, and the PlayStation one, but the one I'm excited about is the Chaos Engine. So this is just a great game. I'm really glad it's included here. Great 2-player fun. You can play single player with the CPU doing controlling the second player, and really enjoy that. Speedball 2, which is a favorite for many for futuristic sports, and this one's a lot of fun to play. Definitely worth checking out. So you can get a base versus package for about $100, or if you want to go the premium mode, you can get it for about $130 with an extra controller and game. I think that definitely is the way to go. Overall, I think it's a great value product. Minor criticisms, you know, I'm always a big fan of including an HDMI and a power brick with a unit, especially if you want to gift it. You know, you don't know if that other person has those pieces lying around. So that's a minor gripe, not a big deal. It's obviously to keep the cost down. So the other minor gripe is I had a slight issue with powering my unit on. The cable connecting into my unit was a little difficult to get it powered on. I just had to have the cable just right, and then it turned on. But nevertheless, overall, I think this is a great package, and I look forward to this being released. It's going to be released in the States this next year, early January. So stay tuned. I do think this is a good retro gaming product. It does get my thumbs up. Overall, I think it's a fantastic package, offering a value experience, especially for a new collector. You know, I've been discussing on my channel how expensive things are. This is a great thing to jump into and collect and game and play. And overall, I think they're offering a wide variety of games across several different platforms. So thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell. And as always, thank you for coming to my channel. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you have a great day.